Welcome back, everybody, to Pat Sajak's retirement special, in which we're going to play one more Nintendo Wii U game, and that is Jeopardy. Let's see how we do, shall we? Alright, Tiger. Yeah. We're going to play Jeopardy on the Wii U.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. MapQuest, 1907. Fish, bird, or mammal. Mobilized. The Tony Awards, and Waterworks. Player 1, The Skate. Let's hear it, Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? Okay, Player 2. Good. Where do we begin, Player 2? The Tarsier. Player 1? You got it. Hey, you're on the plus side. The Honey Creeper. Yes, Player 1? Right you are. The Bongo. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes! The Cichlid. Player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. A fish. You again, Player 1. To visit Sensoji Temple in this capital, cross Komagata Bridge, turn right, and walk north on the Nakamise Dori. Yes, Player 1? Yes. The drive from Denmark to Malmö in this country includes a 5-mile stretch across the Øresund Bridge. Let's hear it, Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1, from Paris's Royal Saint-Honoré Hotel, walk a half-mile down Rue Saint-Honoré, turn right, and walk into its glass pyramid. Let's hear it, Player 1. Hey, you're right. So, to visit San Marino, take a winding road up Mount Titano, a short drive from Rimini in this country. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. From Ulaanbaatar, go straight south to Wuhai, flip a left, and go about 500 miles to reach this world capital. Player 1? Right you are. You get to pick again, player one. A mechanical device used to indicate musical tempo. Okay, player one. Yep. Fly agaric is one of these spore-producing fungi of the Basidiomycetes class. It's player one. Yes. It can be a powerful person in entertainment or a member of a Muslim dynasty that once ruled India. Player one? Yes. Someone who moves from relationship to relationship is a serial one. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Yes, player two. No. Any other takers? Player three? That's it. All right, let's get back into this. Player three has the front of the Tony Award depicts these ancient twin emblems of comedy and tragedy. Yes, player one? You got it. Don't cry for Mandy Patinkin. He won a 1980 Tony Award for this musical. Yes, player one? Good for you. Ian McKellen won a Tony in 1981 for playing this rival of Mozart in Amadeus. It's player one. Good. From 1997 to 2010, the Tony Award ceremony was held at this nearly 6,000-seat hall. It's player one. That's right, way to go. Player one. She's the dynamic actress-producer for whom the Tony Awards were named. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah! You are correct. Player this one. Large tube-shaped pasta is often stuffed with cheese and baked with a tomato sauce. Yes, player one? That is correct. You get to... Florence Ziegfeld produced his first of these extravaganzas in 1907 and would continue them for the next 24 years. Player one? Right. For works like Gunga Din, he became the first Brit awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. It's player one. Good for you. With this man as president, the government budget was $579 million, and unemployment stood at 2.8%. Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. Player Charles Curtis, Republican, Kansas, became the first Native American to serve as one of these. Player one? That's not it. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Senator. So more than 40 nations attended the Second International This Conference in The Hague. It's player one. You are correct. Player one. A waterfall provides only temporary safety from the Hurons for Alice and Cora in this Fenimore Cooper novel. Okay, player one. Yes. Player one. An old man recalls his time with the Benzini Brothers Circus in Water for These Large Beasts. It's player one. Right. Player one. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Please enter your wager. And the Daily Double clue. Conrad's Heart of Darkness was inspired by his voyage up this African river. That puts you even further ahead. This final Joyce novel's ending leads back to its beginning. River Run past Eve and Adams. Let's hear it, player one. That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Finnegan's Wake. And now the $1,000 clue. This author's The Open Boat is based on his experience surviving an 1897 shipwreck. Player one? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else? Here's what we were looking for. Stephen Crane. The selection will be yours, player two, when we return from this break. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Leaf Me. B is for Bard. Quotable movies. The Civil War. It's All Good. And What Can Brown Do for You? All right, let's get back into this. Player two has control. He was Britain's Prime Minister from 2007 to 2010. Yes, player one? No. Any other takers? Okay, player two. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player three. Correct. Player three, start us. My father assured him that either his signature or his brains would be on the contract. Okay, player one. That's correct. There was a Stonehenge monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf. Yes, player one? That's correct. Answer? One of the Daily Doubles. You are currently... All right, here's your clue. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. That puts you even further ahead. So you can't handle the truth. Player one? That is correct. Spartans, enjoy your breakfast, for tonight we dine in hell. It's player one. Good. Player one. On December 2nd, 1859, this militant abolitionist was hanged for treason. It's player one. Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. With his 12,313th rushing yard, he passed Jim Brown on the all-time NFL rushing list in 1984. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
Player Player 1. The GK in the name of this Father Brown creator stood for Gilbert Keith. Okay, Player 1. That's it. Harold Brown was this president's Secretary of Defense. Yes, Player 1. Yep. Please pick again, Player 1. Gassy surname of Sir Toby in Twelfth Night. It's Player 1. Good for you. This ghostly guy is described by the witches as lesser than Macbeth and greater. Okay, Player 1. That's it. His downfall was at Philippi. Player 1. You are correct. Player 1. At the end of Much Ado About Nothing, Benedict quiets this love of his with a kiss. Yes, Player 1. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's Player 3. Nope. Any other takers? Okay, Player 2. You got it, and you're back into some money. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has control. Here's Sarah. She'll show you.
At the 1863 Battle of Gettysburg, the Union's center line at Cemetery Ridge was hit by 12,000 Confederates, who suffered 42% casualties in the skirmish known as This Man's Charge.
Player 1. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 2. You got it. You again, Player 2. This national battlefield in Sharpsburg, Maryland, commemorates the bloodiest single day of the Civil War. Player 1. That is correct. Sherman's campaign for this city took 3 months in 1864. Player 1. Right. In 1862, Confederate General Beauregard wanted Island Number 10 in this body of water held at all costs. Didn't happen. Player 1. Good for you. Player 1. The hopeless mud march in a Virginia downpour ended Burnside's command of the force called This Army. Yes, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, Player 3. Hey, you're right. Good. Back on the plus side. Player 3, you start us off. In The Taming of the Shrew, she's courted by 3 men. Player 1. Yes. A lot of clues, It's the car battery terminal with a plus sign. Yes, Player 1. Correct. Player It can 1. mean far better than average or not yet settled like an unpaid debt. Player 1. That's correct. The bird Ardea herodias isn't just any blue heron, it's this blue heron. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Player 1. Answer, the second daily double. And you're in the lead now. And the daily double clue. As an adjective, it means very impressive. As a noun, it's a lavish production. Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. So Marvin Hagler was Marvelous Marvin. Tom Seaver was nicknamed Tom This. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. We return. Some consider the Hannibal variety of these, made from 100% Havana seed leaf, the world's finest. Player one? Good. Bags of this leafy vegetable from Natural Selection Foods were at the center of a September 2006 E. coli outbreak. Player one? Yeah, good. Like humans, leaves have an exterior epidermis and an interior arrangement of these vascular tissues. Let's hear it, player one. You got it. The Macrocystis genus of this seaweed can grow fronds up to 200 feet long. Okay, player one. That is correct. And the $2,000 clue? This fragrant leaf of the laurel tree is sold commercially as a seasoning. Yes, player one? Good for you. Congratulations to all of you. You'll be continuing on to Final Jeopardy when we come back. So much depends on how you do in the Final Jeopardy category, which today is the 50 states. Please enter your wager. And now the final clue. It was the only state physically and politically formed directly because of the Civil War. And your response? With that correct response, you will gain. What did you put as your response? And that correct response will add. And your response? And that correct response will add. You've come out ahead as our champion, player one. We'll see you all next time.